Hey you guys, I'm here to talk about Scandal. Now I just did a video and I did the whole video and my computer just took it away. So now I'm gonna start again and I'm gonna make it a little shorter because I have things to do. So started out, it was really good by the way. Melly and Fitz are in there, talking with the press about the new baby, and they were saying that they hadn't even picked out a name for the baby yet. She got a little tired of the press. She told them to go ahead and to leave. She called the nurse in to come get the baby. Fitz was like, "Well, when am I? I want to make sure I have rights to see my son." And she said, "You always see your son. We'll be here. He'll be here." And she said, "No." He said, "No. You have to leave." He was like, "No, I still want the divorce." And she was, she was like, "I'm not giving you the divorce. We're not divorcing. We're gonna be a family. We're gonna be happy. I just had your baby." And he was like, "Don't mess with me." He got all up in her face. So then it shows Charlie and Hollis on the elevator, and Hook stopped the elevator from closing. He gets on. So Hollis is looking at Hook like, "What's going on with your face? What's wrong with you?" And he was like, "He was hired to kill you, and I'm going to stop him from killing you." He said, "If you try to kill him, I'm going to kill you. You want to die today? Because I don't want to die today." And so they decide not to do all that. He decides that he's not going to kill or whatever. So Cyrus and Olivia's talking. Cyrus tells, Cyrus is shocked when Olivia tells him that Hollis didn't try to kill the president. So they going to try to figure out who did kill the president. And the president was killed by Supreme Court Justice Verna Thornton. So she was talking about how she hired Becky and he was supposed to be the president, and she hated that she did what she did, but now she's living with her own inside demons, whatever. So this is happening to her because of what she did. And she told Olivia she shouldn't confess and could do more harm than good. And she was like, "Well, if that's true, then why did she make the call to David Rosen?" And so even though he was summoned to come there, somebody keep blocking him from coming to see her because Fitz is already in the room. So they go back to before Fitz got to the room, him and Olivia talk, and they got to kissing and loving on her, to asking her to wait on him, and she said, "I'll think about it." And he said, "I know that I still want the divorce because I know that Melly had her labor induced, put my son's life in danger, just to manipulate me to stop uh trying to make go through with the divorce." So um the president went to see Verna, and after a little while he run out saying, "Help, she not breathing, she not breathing." So everybody, run in to see her, and she ended up dying. So he had this look on his face while he was in the Oval Office, and I'm telling y'all, the whole while he had the look on her face, I said, she probably told him while she was in that hospital room. But I didn't think he killed her. I thought that was maybe her little dying. Before she died, she wanted to get everything out in the open. So Cyrus is ordered to assemble a list of possible replacement justices by meeting up with Melly in the hallway. And she told him that he still want to go through with the divorce, but she not gonna let him do that. And why does he still want to go through with the divorce? She says she'll ruin him. She'll take all his money. She'll confess that he cheated on her, and it was with Olivia Pope and all that stuff. So and then she said she'll end up running for the office herself. So Olivia needs to know what kind of information that David has uncovered, because it's obvious that he knows something. So they remember the bobblehead, and Abby was like, "You mean to tell me y'all had something in there and y'all was listening? Let me tell you something. If it's any R-rated stuff on there, you leave it up to me, because some man came in that they hired, and he had all the little CDs or whatever from the bobblehead that was recorded, and he brought it in." And so Abby was like, "If y'all hear anything R-rated, it's for my ears only." So one of the so Hook, one of the funny parts Huck brought in one of the CDs and he was like, he gave her this look. Huck be giving looks. And she was like, why are you standing there looking at me like that? You old pervert. And he was like, just, ugh, like in disgust. Like, you nasty. You a freak. Yeah, I mean, Huck don't even have to say nothing to make stuff funny to him, for him. But anyway, so one of the CDs actually revealed that David is in possession of the memory card to rig the machine. So Abby mentioned that he have a safe in his office and that she'll get it. But while she was doing that, she was listening to all the little tapes and stuff that everybody had brought in just for her to listen to. And while she was asleep, he told her that he loves her. And so it kind of didn't sit well with her because she was like, but they was telling me that, it came back that he was beating somebody. He ain't never told me no stuff like that. So she hurried up and ran. She hurried up and ran to Olivia and asked Olivia, "Did you pay her to say that?" She said, "I just have one question. Did you pay her to say that? And you better tell me the truth. That's the only thing I want to know." And she said yes. And so Abby was like, "And I know who your payout and I know who your payout person was," and she knew it was Harrison. So she went to Harrison and she was mad, and Harrison was like, "Look, we are gladiators. This is what we do. We don't put feelings in the way. When Olivia got us all in. She fixed your life, my life, Huck's life, Abby's life. When she came in and fixed everybody's life, we agreed that we were just gonna be there for each other, and this is what we had to do to get what we needed." So Abby goes to David's door, and because she's still gonna get the little memory chip or whatever. And she was like, "Do you love me?" And he was like, "Of course I love you." And she's like, "I love you too." And then they go and do their thing. So his secretary comes the next morning to pick him up to go to the grand jury with the evidence. And she's like, "Well, he's ready." Abby was still there, and so she took him out. Him and the secretary left. So Abby was in there. She opened the safe, but it didn't show her. She was at the safe, but it didn't show her opening the safe, like she was having second thoughts. So Cyrus and Olivia talked, and he was like, "I think I have one last card I could play." And I was thinking, y'all, because I was on Facebook tweeting. Facebook tweeting. I was on Facebook, just Scandal on Thursdays. I'm on Facebook Scandal. So I was like, please don't tell me he either about to get David killed or his husband killed. And before it went to commercial, I was putting that on Facebook. So James had come in first before that happened, because I'm just trying to remember little pieces. James came in with a subpoena that he had gotten from David to testify, because he said he wasn't going to do it. He was going to stay out of it. He has the baby now. He is no longer a reporter. He is just a father. He don't want to have anything to do with it. He said, "I'll just subpoena you to get it, because do you want to do time for lying or hiding evidence, or do you want to do this?" So Cyrus is like, "Oh no, that is not true. That didn't happen." He was like, "Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. I'm your husband, And Cyrus was like, "Take off your clothes." And he was like, "No, I'm not taking off my clothes. Why do you want me to take off my clothes?" He said, "I want to make sure you're not wearing a wire." Now, y'all, I'm all for whatever your choice you want to make in life about who you want to be with. But Cyrus and James naked for about 10 minutes was not for me, y'all. I was like, when are they going to put some over? Why did the ABC Shonda Rhimes? Now, that was a bit much for me. It really, really was. That was just a bit much. And I'm glad it was after 9 o'clock when the kids are gone to bed or whatever. But that was a bit much for TV. It really, really was. Two grown men just standing up there naked. It was fine if they was just up there for like a few minutes, few seconds, and they put their clothes back on or something. But they did that whole scene naked. I'm like, okay, wait. That's just too much for me. Two grown men. Two big, hairy grown men, too. But anyway, moving on from that. So Cyrus did admit that he did steal the White House, and he said he did it so that one day he could actually become president. He said he's always been a loser. He always lost himself, and this time he just been wanting to win, win, win. He's like, okay, I did it. And so James is like, I can't believe this. He was like, well, you just make sure you don't get on that saying and, read me out. We're a family and all that. He's like, I have to do what's best for my daughter. So when I think Cyrus was gonna try to kiss him or get close to him or something, and the baby started crying, and he's like, she's calling me, she needs me. And he was like, I think I'm gonna sleep with her tonight. And he was like, what? So what is that saying? What are you gonna do? He said, I have to do whatever I have to do to protect my baby. So that's when Olivia and him were talking, and he said, I have one more thing I can do. And he hired Charlie to shoot or kill or whatever James. So he wouldn't testify. I was so mad at him, I didn't know what to do myself. So anyway, Quinn walks up to Huck with this envelope, and she's shaking, like real shaking. And she was like, if I offer you $5,000, is $5,000 enough to kill somebody? And he turned around, and he always get these looks, like all he have to do is look. He don't even have to say no words for him to be just, I love me some Huck, y'all. That's my favorite person on the show. So she's like, I want you to kill Hollis Doll. He ruined my life, and he murdered my boyfriend. And he was like, will you do it for me? I have $5,000. Is that enough? And Huck was like, no, that's not enough, but I will do it for free if you really want me to do this. But let me tell you what, that means you can't work here at Pope and Associates anymore. You have to leave the country. I mean, not the country, but you have to leave the town. You have to go back to being Lindsay or Logan or whoever you used to be in your former life. You can no longer be Quinn. This is done, because we are gladiators. We fix things. We do not do revenge murders for business. That's not how we do things. So she just shaking and shaking and shaking, and then she realized, okay, I don't want to go back to my old life. I want to move on and move forward. So she didn't do it. So Cyrus is on the phone with Charlie, and he's like, where are you? He's like, I'm following behind what you want me to do. And so he was like, wait before you do it. He's like, what you mean wait? I'm almost here. He's about to get ready to go up in there. And so then it shows James. I was like, oh, Cyrus, what are you doing? Who does that? Like, is that secret that, like, really? This secret is deep. People doing some things for this secret, okay? So he's on the phone. He's like, just give me a minute. He's like, I don't have a minute. He's about to get ready to go up in there and testify. I can't go inside the building with this. I'm going to go to jail. He's like, just give me a minute. So on the other phone, his other phone, he calls James. And he was like, well, I'm getting ready to go into the courtroom, honey. And he's like, James, I'm begging you, please don't do this. I love you. If you love me, don't do this. And he said, I have to do what I have to do. And for our daughter, and one of us has to be here for her and all that. So Charlie's like, okay. Well, so and then he hangs up. He's like, I'm about to go in. So Charlie's like, well, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And he was like, Charlie was about to pull out his gun just when he said, don't do it. So James went on in to testify, and David is asking him all these questions, and he's like, is there he said, I did go, I went to look for it or whatever you said you thought you had found, but when I didn't find anything. I didn't find anything at all. And he was like, what? David was like, that's not what we agreed on. He said, are you sitting here lying? Do you know what the how much time you'll get for lying and perjury in the court and all that? He's like, yes, but like I told you, there was nothing there, and you kept pressing the issue, and I kept telling you it was nothing there. He lied. Now, Cyrus, you tried to get him killed, and he sat up in that stand and lied for you. Do you know how much time? Oh, y'all just, So he was like, I can tell you where the card is. I have the card at my house. So Cyrus had already called Olivia and told her that that his plan didn't fell through. It didn't work. And she was like, well, okay, I guess we're done. I mean, it's over for us. And she put out a bottle of wine. She asked Harrison to join her drinking the wine. Then Cook came in and Abby came in, and they was all sitting down just thinking about what's about to happen. So as that happens, Abby comes in with the she came in and she's like, oh, party and all that stuff. And after she come in and they were just talking a little bit, David comes storming in, and he mad. He realized that Abby stole the card, and he's like, I knew I shouldn't have left you in my house and you with my safe. I can't believe you would do this to me. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he grabs her purse, and Huck's like, wait a minute, you going too far. And she was like, no, don't worry about it, let him do it. I don't know what he's looking for. What is wrong with you? I thought you loved me. You don't trust me? He's like, I know you have it. I know you have it. You guys, you made me lose my case. You made me get up there and look like a fool. Y'all gonna pay for this. Y'all gonna pay for this. This is gonna come back to get you good. And he was like, I never want to see you again. You a liar and all that stuff. So she just, the boohoo cried after he left. So Harrison got the loving on her or whatever. And after they finished hugging, she digs down in her shirt and pulls out the memory card and give it to Olivia. Child. Olivia was just like, I can't believe you did all this for me after what I did for you. That means we are really, really together on this. So she just went to, Olivia went to holding her and consoling her or whatever. So while Fitz was in Olivia, they getting ready to go to the funeral or whatever of Verna. So Edison came to pick Olivia up to take her to the funeral. And she was like, oh no, I already have a car coming. He's like, well, I thought we could just, go together. And so she was like, oh, I have your engagement ring right here. He said, I've given this ring to you twice, and you've given it back to me both times. And it's his grandmother's ring he's trying to give her. And he was like, don't you want to be in love? Don't you want to have a family? Don't you want to be married and leave this lifestyle and, just enjoy life? And she was like, no, I don't even want any children, and I don't want the big happy life. I want my marriage to be painful and difficult and devastating and life-changing and extraordinary love, And she's like, and I'm willing to wait for it. And he was like, who wants love to be painful and devastating and difficult and all that? Love is not supposed to hurt. Love is not supposed to be difficult. It's supposed to be easy. And I was like, you better say that, Edison. You better say it. You better try to get you some Olivia, but it didn't work. So they at the funeral now. So Olivia comes up to Fitz and she was like, hey, you ready? You excited about the eulogy? He's like, yeah, I'm ready. He's all dry, and I just knew his facial expression when he mad or when he upset is just scarecrow. So he just have no emotion in his face when he upset. It's just he got this crumbled up frown he have, right? It's just something. But anyway, so he was like, she was like, I told Edison no, and I'll wait for you. And he's like, oh, you don't need to do that anymore. Don't even bother. You don't have to worry about that. You always believed in me, right? You believed in me so much, you made sure I got to be the president of the United States. So it clicked to her he must know something. He must know something. I knew it. So while he was giving his eulogy, he flashing back to him and Verna talking at the hospital. And she told him everything. She was like, no, you're not the real president. You weren't supposed to be the president. Somebody else was supposed to be the president, but you made us fall in love with you, and you made us want you to be there, and I wanted my position, and so I knew what we had to do. And she told him that she paid Becky to shoot him and try to kill him, and that they rigged the votes to get him into the Oval Office. And she started he was calling out names, and she was just letting him call out the names: Tyrus, Hollis, Melly. And then he said Olivia, and when he said Olivia and she ain't say nothing, he was just like, what? He was just devastated. He was crying. His eyes all teared up, like his world had just everything, like somebody just ripped his heart out. And so, Verna said she was coming clean to David after he left the office, because she just wanted to make sure that her legacy was intact when she died or whatever, and she wanted to make sure people knew the truth. And that's why she had called for David, but they wouldn't let him in because the president was already there. So Fitz, he walking, he pacing the bed, he pacing the hospital room, he pacing, he like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I can't believe this. He just mad. He just thinking like, what? All these people was in on this. And so he was like, I promise I'll keep your legacy as Supreme Court Justice. I'll make sure people know nothing bad about you and everything good when I give your eulogy. because I can't, and I want people to do the same for me. So he took her little oxygen thing off because baby was up there looking like she had died 2 times already. They put some makeup on her that made, oh honey, she just kept having to use that oxygen thing to breathe, and she was yet holding on. She was holding on. All they needed to do pull one more strip off the broomstick, and she'd been gone. So he took her arms and he folded them together, and he pushed them into her chest, and he took her oxygen thing away, and she died. I was like, Fitz, what you doing? Y'all doing some stuff on this show. We got Cyrus trying to get his husband killed. We got Fitz and set up there and killed the Supreme Court Justice lady. I just don't know what to do. Fitz, who you been hanging with? Fitz been hanging with Cyrus and them too long. He just met the child. But anyway, so Verna takes one last gasp, and then she she died. So that's when he was running out to her, she's not breathing, she's not breathing. And it was just all crazy, just oh Lord. So he went back to the eulogy and said a few funny things. Everybody laughed or whatever. Nobody thinking in the back of their head that this man know but Olivia. The only person that knows that he know is Olivia. So it goes back to Melly coming into the room with Fitz, and she asked him how he doing, and he was like, I thought you was the one that tried to kill me. Which I still think her and Verna got together and did this. I think Millie, because Millie was like, no, don't go. She kept saying, no, I don't want to go. I don't feel right. I think Millie and Verna was in on it together. It's going to come out later, y'all. But anyway. So, and she was like, but he's like, but now I know that that's not the case, And he's like, will you always be by my side? And I love you. It's just me and you. Because I don't have anybody left to be on my side. And she's like, I always loved you. I never stopped loving you. I'm always going to be here for you. And she was like, they held each other and loved on each other. And he was like, we in this together because that's all we have. And she's like, I never left your side. I'm here. So they hugging and kissing or whatever. And then it goes back to Olivia still sitting in the pew by herself. Nobody's there. Everybody's left. And she just in awe. She just confused, and she just don't know about her future. So that's all that happened yesterday. Next week is supposed to be like David wakes up and somebody's dead inside his bed and blood is everywhere. So that's the case they're going to be working on. And then Olivia meets a new guy, and she wants to start dating again, I guess. And I don't know what else is going to go on. I'm sure something's going to go on with the president, but I think that she's going to tell Cyrus that he knows what happened. He knew but she don't know how he knows, but she know that he knows. So y'all, it was good. This was one of the best ones. I'm trying to remember which one was actually like super good like this, but all of them are great. But this one here was so good. It was just real good. But I will see you guys next week for next week's Scandal review, and you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for liking and commenting, subscribing, and sharing. I really appreciate it. Talk to you guys next week. Bye bye.